I'm Victor Fontane. Thank you for watching this presentation about the qualities of nature, the smart way to perfection. This presentation is based on the book Our Home Called Earth, From Creation to Evolution, written by me 3 years ago. And we pretend on this presentation to go deep in some of the teachings and clarify some concepts included in the book. I'm co-founder of the Gelug Buddhist Center Ganden Sheduk Lin, which means the Center for the Joyful Practice. Also studied business administration and industrial engineering. And I've been practicing Tibetan Buddhism for 30 years. During my Buddhist practice, I received Kala Chakra initiation and empowerment twice from His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, also from Venerable Kirti Rinpoche, and last initiation from the Venerable Jampe Lodro Rinpoche from the Rimé School of Tibetan Buddhism. In addition, I participated in studies of the Bible, different Bibles, Secret Doctrine by Elena Petrovna Blavatsky, aka Madame Blavatsky, Agni Yoga by Nicholas Roerich, and other spiritual traditions. So, the quality of nature, the smart way to perfection. In this presentation, we're going to discuss teachings that were given by ancient masters 17,000 years ago, and they were included in the Hindu Vedas. And in those teachings, the ancient masters divided all the energy in the universe, because the universe is all about energy and vibration. And they divided in 3 different categories that we're going to discuss later. But first, we're going to make kind of like a reality check now. And we're going to talk about what we are certain are not certain about life and spiritual evolution. So first, what we are certain of. First, we were born, going to get old and die. We know that. We also came to life to do something. We won't spend our life lying down doing nothing. We know also that there is happiness, but there's also suffering in the world. All we know was inserted in our mind by others. When we were born, we came with a lot of information from our past lives, but we never had the opportunity to access that information because of when we were babies, we didn't have the psychological structure to reach them and understand them. And when we started growing, a lot of information were inserted in our mind by our fathers, our school, religion, society, and that information kind of block and suppress all the memories that we actually brought from past lives. So it's all what other tells us. We also know that everything is evolving in the universe. Also that psychologists always explains this, that humans look for happiness and avoid pain and suffering. We also are stuck in the concept of duality. At one point in the evolution of this planet, the seed of duality was inserted in human minds, and that separates us from each other. So we see me and other, we see poor and rich, we see day and night, we see good and evil, black and white, etc. And that's concept was necessary for us to understand the other based on the first, which means that it's a complementary opposites that is needed to understand the other. So to understand the day, we have to experience night, etc. And last, we had some spiritual master and teachers. We just worship them. We don't follow most of the time their teachings at all. So the second part is what we are not certain of. The first one is we are not certain where we came from. Where we came from. Second, what's our purpose in our mission in life? Third, we are not certain that God exists. We believed in it because someone told us, and we have faith, in spite of the fact that there is no proof of that. We even believe that God has a human body, thoughts, emotions, like any other human. Also, that our only reason to have a physical life is for a spiritual evolution. That's something that most people are certain of. Also, we are not certain of that the universe or how our universe and our planet started. Also, we are not certain of the divine seed of God is primal energy of the source of everything and is inside us. Actually, we are not certain that the whole universe is inside us. All humans have to evolve spiritually to achieve perfection. That's a very important path for human beings in this planet, but we are not certain about that. We are not certain either that the most important thing is not worshiping masters or teachers. Of course, we love them. But is their message the most important thing? Because they're just messengers. Also, we are not certain that, or we don't know that overcoming the concept of duality that we explained before is the way to achieve and understand the oneness with everything, with God. Also, that when people ask questions, they just want to hear answers that pleases them, in spite of right or wrong. And we don't know either that the more we focus and get attached to the reflection of ourselves or the physical world, the farthest we are from our higher spiritual principles and true reality. So, we talk about the qualities of nature. In the Hindu Vedas, in Sanskrit, that qualities are called gunas. And those gunas or qualities are three and appear during the Dwapara Yuga. The teachings in the Vedas, the ancient masters told us and told the disciples that the evolution process in this planet is moved in a cycling motion. So everything is going around and round and round. So the first, and they explain that divided those cycles in what they call eras or yugas in Sanskrit. And they say that the first yuga was the Satya Yuga, the second yuga, the Dwapara Yuga, or the Dwapara means two, the third Tetra Yuga, which means three also, and the last one Kali Yuga. And these three gunas appeared and were explained in the Dwapara Yuga or the second Yuga. So they divided everything that exists in the universe, in energy, which is energy, in three different aspects. The first one was called Rajas. And Rajas is the quality of passion, activity, neither good nor bad, and sometimes either. Self-centeredness, egotistic, individualizing, driven, moving, and dynamic. That means that quality is neutral, provoke laziness, and is kind of neutral. The second quality is called tamas, and is a quality of imbalance, anxiety, impure, destructive, delusion, negative, dull, or inactive, apathy, inertia, or lethargy, violent, vicious, and ignorant. This is the worst type of energy or quality in the energy of the universe. And then the last one, sattva, is a quality of balance, harmony, goodness, purity, holistic, constructive, creative, positive, peaceful, and virtuous. This is the best quality. So, in summarizing, the three qualities represent the first, rajas, the energy that is neutral. Don't go forward, but don't go back either. Tamas is the second quality that produces negative impact in the spiritual evolution, stop the spiritual evolution, and can even takes you back into the spiritual evolution. And sattva, which is the best of them, which is the one who help us in go forward in our spiritual evolution. These qualities also or apply to all that exists in the material world, even in food, people, behavior, thoughts, and emotions. So that's why, based on these qualities or gunas, people's behavior cannot be categorized as bad or good or sinful, but only on those that raise them to the higher level of evolution and consciousness of those that stop them in the path to perfection and enlightenment. So how these energy, these gunas or these qualities of this type of energy affect, or what effect this energy or these energies has in our spiritual or pranic body? Well, we have to start explaining that we have a physical body with different systems. We have a circulatory system, we have a respiratory system, we have a digestive systems, but also we have a subtle body where we have an energy distribution system that keeps us alive. And matter of fact, when people die because that energy in the body, that energy that moves around the body and give life to the body, leave the body. And that's why people die. This energy, basically we receive this energy from the sun. When we breathe through our nostrils, you get that energy that goes to three main channels, big channels that we have in our solar body, aligned with our spine, that takes the energy through these three channels and then distribute the energy through 72,000 other channels around the body and takes that energy to all parts of the body. These three main energy channels are aligned with the chakras in the body, in the subtle body. And these channels are called nadis, which is the Sanskrit name for channel. And the center channel is called Shushumna Nadi and represents a fire. When you breathe from the sun, the energy represents the fire, go through that nadi. And then we have the second nadi on the left, which is called Ida Nadi, represents the moon. And on the right, we have the Pingala Nadi, which represents the sun. The energy that runs through these three main channels and is distributed to the other 72,000 channels around the body are called winds and are responsible to keep the physical body alive. And again, they appeared in the body, or this knowledge appeared in the second yuga, or the Dwapara Yuga. So the winds, or the energy that runs through the three main channels, going to the other 72,000 channels to give life to this physical body. The first wind that we're going to talk about is what is called life-sustaining wind. This wind allows us to swallow, inhale, sneeze, spit, and also help the mind to have clear perceptions of the sense organs and the mental constructs, govern and integrates the mind-body-spirit system. And if this wind is disordered or is have problem, a variety of physical or mental issues may arise. Specific samples mentioned include confusion, hearing sounds, hallucinations. One might easily lose balance or even experience loss of consciousness. The second wind is called the ascending wind. This actually affects the upper part of the body. And with this wind allows us to speak, have clear complexion, regulates the body color, the stamina, clarity of mind and memory, awareness in general, and the ability to focus and have with diligence. But problem with this wind will create disorders on the upper part of the body, as I told you, such as lung disorders, breathing difficulties, loss of voice, neck and shoulder pain, as well as headaches. The next one is a fire accompanying wind. This primary function of this wind is regulating the digestive system. By separating nutrients from waste, it aids in the digestive process and repels the successive objects of harm like feces, urine, and sweat. A problem with this wind might see chronic digestive disorders, constipation, low metabolism, poor absorption, and a variety of indigestion states found in combination with other disorders. Next wind is the downward voiding winds. This wind facilitates the function of holding and release feces, urine, sperm, menstrual fluids, fetus, and placenta. So through this wind is how a woman can give birth to a human being. Malfunction or problem with this wind can have with problems with the blood circulation, problems with bladder problems or discharging waste in the body. Also, problem on giving birth to babies, etc. So the last one is all-pervasive wind. The all-pervasive wind governs all body movements, muscle functions, walking, stretching, lifting, movement, contracting, etc. The opening and closing of orifices and verbal, mental, and physical functions rely upon this to function well. The manifestation of a problem in this wind particularly results in loss of balance, stress and anxiety, panic attacks, heart palpitations, and discomfort or disease. Shoulder and back pain presented as a mixed wind disorder including blood circulation diseases. So, as I told you before, that's the way the gunas can affect those winds in the body. And these gunas, or these qualities of nature, sattva, tamas, and rajas, may be created or may be reinforced by what we think, what we eat, what we do, our behavior, etc. So we're going to talk about eating first. There's been a long discussion about vegetarian versus non-vegetarian, the reasons why they are vegetarian or not. Most people that are vegetarian give reasons for being vegetarian, like one, that meat is harmful. Two, commercial processed food is harmful. And 3, they doesn't like to promote killing animals. But at the end, you'll see that the real reason for being vegetarian or non-vegetarian is the way it affects those energies or those qualities in the body. So, of course, eating meat is one of the tamasic food, or is create one of the tamasic effect in the body. But I want to point out also for another reason that vegetarians don't eat meat. In the Bible, when you analyze the Bible, you see in Genesis 1:24 and 25, and that it says, "And God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, livestock and creeping things, and beasts of the earth according to their kinds. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to their kind, and the livestock according to their kind, and everything that creeps on the ground according to its kind. And God saw that it was good." And 26, it says, "Then God says, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." When you analyze this, you can see that God never told in the Bible to kill and eat the livestock or animals. But going further, when you go to Isaiah 1, you'll see in 1:10, it says, "Hear the word of the Lord, you rulers of Sodom. Give ear to the teachings of our God, you people of Gomorrah. What to me is a multitude of your sacrifices, says the Lord. I have had enough of burnt offerings of rams and the fat of well-fed beasts. I do not delight on the blood and bulls or of lambs or of goats." So he didn't like the bloodshed of animal according to the Bible. Let's see the effect on the physical body of consuming meat. Let's take herbivore beings or animals like cows, horses, zebras, giraffe, elephants, etc. They eat just vegetables or grass, but they are more peaceful. They have a long digestive system. That's why they can hold the food in the digestive system for a long time. And they chew in rotary motion, like humans. They chew in this way. Like we humans chew in the same way, like herbivorous beings. But on the other hand, we have the carnivorous beings. The carnivorous beings are violent. They have to violently kill other animals to eat them. They have a short digestive system. That's why they don't get sick. They don't have further problems, digestive problems, because they get rid of the food very easily and quickly. They have also fangs to break the tissues of flesh. When they attack an animal and to kill it, they have to break the tissue to eat them. They chew in a vertical motion. They chew like this all the time. They eat raw flesh with no condiments. We actually, to eat meat, we have to put a lot of condiments and we have to cook them. And finally, in the digestive process, comparing herbivore animals and carnivores, you will see that the meat in the digestive process rots, get rotten and create a lot of bacteria and gases. The vegetables are fermented. They never get rotten, but they are fermented. So we'll see now two different situations comparing people that are vegetarian and people that are not vegetarian, and the consequences of being vegetarian or not being vegetarian. However, as I told you at the beginning, this energy, sattva, rajas, and tamas, which is actually dividing the energy in the universe, create different consequences in our body and our mind, and even in our spirit. So, sattva, rajas, and tamas, you can see that you can apply this to food, but not only food, but also to behavior of some people, also to thoughts. You can have loving thoughts, which is sattvic energy, but you can have hate thoughts, which is tamas. Or you can attack somebody, which is tamasic also. So we're gonna see now a table with the three gunas and some examples of the food that we can consume or we can do based on the three different energies or gunas. You have the first sattva, which is the food that promotes purity of mind and intelligence, but also the behavior that can promote this type of concepts, but also the thoughts that we have that can promote purity of mind and intelligence. So in sattva, we have some examples, among others. We have milk, herbal tea, ghee, which is clarified butter, whole grains, fresh juicy fruits, fresh vegetables, honey, nuts, and moonbeams, among others. In rajas, or the second guna or quality, it is food that gives us motivation and keeps us attached to our ego and creates desire. We have coffee and black tea, chicken, eggs, onion, garlic, which are vegetables but are rajasic also, dark lentils, citrus fruits, very spicy foods, chocolate and salt, and tamasic food, or food that makes our mind sluggish and promotes diseases. We have red meat, alcohol, fast food, fried food, frozen food, canned stale food, refined sugars, tobacco, and soda. And of course, overeating. Eating too much can create this type of situation. So, wrapping around the information, the presentation, you'll see that everything you eat, everything you do, everything you think or you say can be divided. First of all, it's energy. And being energy can be divided in the three gunas or three qualities, sattvas, tamas, and rajas. And based on what you eat, based on what you say, based on what you think, or based on what you do, you are doing swatic things or tamasic or rajasic, affecting in that way your spiritual evolution process. So keep in mind that we all have to evolve and achieve the highest level of perfection in this planet. No one is left behind. So the masters and ancient masters told this more than 15,000 years ago, giving the teachings and the wisdom to humanity to help humanity and speed up our spiritual evolution. But it's on us, it's what we do. Having the knowledge of this and this information will help you to take good decisions and maybe at one point going into a path and advance your spiritual evolution, which is what everyone has to do. Well, thank you very much for being here with us, and I hope you got this information. The information is on my website, tushitasky.com. Also, in the website, tushitasky.com, you can ask questions, and I answer all the questions about this presentation, other presentations, or any other information on the website. So we have three more presentations coming soon. I'll keep you posted. Namaste.